welcome to another video everyone. In today's video we're going to be testing all of the art supplies from my final Japan vlog. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. We went to the 12-story stationery art supply store, iToya, which is in Ginza in Tokyo, and I kind of let loose. And we're gonna test everything. I thought it would be really fun to do a video showing my first impressions of all of these art supplies. There's a lot of stuff I haven't really used before, a lot of pastels. I don't really work with pastels, and so there's definitely like a learning curve involved, undoubtedly, but first impressions, we've got a range of supplies ranging from quite cheap to quite expensive, and just a whole range of different things to try. We've also got a new sketchbook that we're going to try out as well. So let's get into it. I hope you enjoy. I'll see you at the end of the video. Okay, let's get into it. I'm gonna use like a pencil that I didn't buy in Japan, but I'm gonna try to keep everything else as like Japan trip focused as possible. Grab yourself a beverage. If you haven't got one, make sure you stay hydrated, although it feels a little bit ironic to say that while I'm drinking coffee. Also, quick shout out to the art YouTube community for this mirror concept. I've seen so many YouTubers doing this and I think it's wonderfully quirky. Okay, so let's start. The first notebook I'm gonna try is this MD notebook, and I got the A5 grid, and it says that this is the MD paper is our original paper that prevents smearing and bleed through and enables comfortable writing. It's crafted using traditional Japanese threaded binding, and it lays flat for easy writing. I really like gridded paper, and I struggle to find like bleed proof gridded paper. So this is gonna be my sketchbook, I think. Oh, so clean. It's not gonna stay this clean, I already know that. I'm gonna start with pencils because I'm very comfortable with pencils, and I got this, I'm gonna absolutely do a terrible job of pronouncing this, the Caran dash pencils, which are made in Switzerland, I believe. They had a really cute display in iToya for these, and I love that they come in like a neat like little tin. Like, how cute! You can just chuck this set in your bag. Oh, look at that, look at that. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, so this set is this comes with water soluble pencils. Oh, maybe it's not the best for this. A fluoro highlighter pencil, a ballpoint pen, yellow and black HB pencil, another graphite HB pencil, a water brush, a pencil sharpener, and a little eraser. So it's like an entire kit in one. I'm in love with this so much. You know what, I'm gonna try it anyway, even if I don't use water on this paper. I just want to know how the pencils feel. Cool. Okay, so can I fold it over? Is that too much? I'm like very much a move my book around, move my iPad around, move everything around. Oh my god, wow, that lead is very fine. No! Oh, it's such a bright yellow. I really like that. Okay. Bothers me that I didn't make it even now. Ooh, okay, when you press the push button, it doesn't come out and then it comes out really quickly. All right, this paper is definitely not suited for water. Oh, you know what? It still isn't bleeding through. That's good. You know, I am I'm in the process of working out my first ever sketchbook tour video, and for me that's a really big deal because I have literally never in my entire life up until 2024 finished a sketchbook. And I have turned 30 years old, and that's the first sketchbook I've ever done. I'm chronically somebody who I struggle to see things through to completion. Not like projects, like I finish client projects or like paid work or even like personal projects, but like say something with sketchbooking, I've never been particularly like confident with it. And yeah, so I've started 1,000,001 sketchbooks, and then when I've realized I'm not any good at like painting or traditional media, I've always just given up. Obviously that is like a wild thing to do, because like, well, not a wild thing to do, like so many people are like that, but it's the single most like counterintuitive thing to do, because the only way you get better at something like this is through practice and through pushing through the discomfort. And now, after completing two sketchbooks in 2024, which is somebody who's never completed any sketchbooks, is like a 1,000,000% increase on my previous year's track record. I can see a marked improvement in how I'm drawing towards the end of the second sketchbook compared to the first one. And also then if I look back at some of my like half finished or quarter finished sketchbooks from like previous years, the growth is astounding, and it really does just like go to remind me that you have to sit with the feeling of being like a failure to ever get past it. Honestly, like you can't run from that feeling, because if you do, you kind of just stay stagnant. You stay in that place you really like didn't want to stay in, and it's only when you can sort of like face it head on that anything actually changes and actually improves. So I'm really proud of the sketchbooks, even though I physically recoil when I look at some of the pages. I also think that there is an element to that of like, I've seen so many people's sketchbooks online, really talented traditional artists, and their sketchbooks look like they could be finished pieces. And I guarantee if I spoke to them, they would probably not necessarily agree with that. And they're like, oh, no, like this is my rough stuff. But like, bro, your rough stuff looks like incredible. So, and my stuff doesn't look like that. And even when I was working as a communication designer, because my background is in communication design, seeing all these like design Instagram accounts posting their sketches of their logos, but their like angles are perfect and it's like on a grid and the curves are super smooth. And then I realized afterwards that they were actually like just retrofitting these digital vectors onto, like photoshopping it onto a sketchbook mock-up. And so I was always down on myself about my like dingy little logo sketches until I realized that like people sketch like that. They just hide it, you know, they're just not sharing that part of of their work and what they do. And so I really have tried to take some of the pressure off. Like the whole point of a sketchbook is to like be messy and to experiment and to try different things. And with that, I know I've said this in like one of my Japan videos, but with that comes the inherent risk of failure, like failure. But like you can't grow and you can't like innovate and you can't change without trying something new. And if you don't try something new, like when you try something new, the risk of failure is high, because you are experimenting. And so it is inevitable. I also think teaching has like really helped me gain a bit of confidence to like fail more, because, you know, I'm saying this stuff to my students and then I'm going home and I'm being like, well, if I know this to be true and like this is the advice I genuinely give other people, then I really should actively try and practice it more myself in my own life. And yeah, I think the last 2024, in terms of like 2024 was an up and down year for sure, but in terms of my confidence with traditional media and my confidence in a sketchbook, it is literally the best, like I feel the best I have ever felt. I've just signed an agreement to work with a sticker company, which is amazing and wonderful. And I was going through my old work to find the pieces that they had requested for the sticker sheet that I'm doing. And honestly, the passage of time and having like a fresh eye to view your art. I was going through artworks from like multiple years ago, right? And I remember in the moment with those artworks hating quite a few of them and being so dissatisfied. I'm really trying to not put too much water on this because this paper is not meant for that. Being so dissatisfied by these artworks, and now that I'm revisiting them like sometimes 3-4 years after the fact, this really isn't the right paper for it. Oh no. Okay, well, you know what, we persevere anyway. I'm just gonna try to put less water. This pen releases a lot of water, so in my opinion, compared to some others, so I'll just try to keep it really light. Anyway, I was going through artworks from like years ago, and it is incredible how much like I appreciate my old work now that time has passed. And in the moment I didn't like it, and I didn't appreciate, like I didn't respect the effort I'd put into it. I didn't like value myself for like creating these things, and I look back at them now, especially because I've had an on and off relationship with making art consistently. Like I got really burnt out, and I've just taken a bit of time off, and I've sort of just come back to it now. Now that I look at it, I'm like, damn, like you were prolific, and like you were making some really cool stuff, and I hated it in the moment. But I look back at it now and I'm like, you know what? Mad props. And I kind of wish I had have appreciated it. It's always the way. You look back at everything after it's over, and then you're like, if only I could have been like more present in the moment and more kind to myself and more respectful to myself. And so I'm really, for 2025, one of my big goals is to try and really respect the process of sitting down to create, despite what I make. Like, it doesn't matter. Would I recommend these pencils? Yes. I think the tin is super cute. I think it's a good range of stuff. I think it's pretty easy to use. Obviously, I'm using it on the wrong type of paper, and that's going to affect how it moves across the paper. Maybe I'll do a second test of it in this book a little bit later on. But I really like it. But let's just do a little bit of a swatch test of these Sakura Coupy pencils, which are basically like crayon pencils, and you can sharpen them and you can erase them. So let's do a classic swatch test. Love it. They go down quite oily. They feel like it feels a little bit odd to be, like it feels very pencil-like. I'm worried holding them, as I grip my pencils quite tight, I'm worried holding them that I'm going to snap it. That is actually a genuine concern that I have. They feel kind of fragile because the whole thing is like the wax. There's no like outer coating. Oh, I wonder how these would go together with the pencils. Oh, is that dry? Yes. The leaves aren't, but the petals are. Other side check, very clear. Great. What do I want to draw for this one? Now I've just remembered what I was saying before, and then I went off on, I completely forgot what I was saying. I've learned to accept the way that I do things in comparison to how a lot of other people tend to do things and like the norm of what is seen online. Like I see all these beautiful Instagram reels of people in their sketchbooks, and unless they've done something wild in their camera editing, like adjusted the contrast to the point where you can't see their like very light sketch, then it looks to me like these people are sketching super confidently without any under sketch, any general proportion building. Like they'll just go into sketching a portrait and just start with like the eye. Like I'm not at that point yet, you know? And so for a long time, I thought that's what I had to do. Obviously confident lines is great and what we're aiming for, but I thought I just had to go in straight to like the almost final art without any down sketches. And so I've learned to accept this part of myself, that I feel a lot more confident at this current point in time when I actually draw a pencil sketch, like a very loose, rough pencil sketch, just to get the proportions and the placement of stuff before I actually go in trying to make nice lines in any way. And so I'm just rolling with that. That's how I work best, and I think that's okay. I think that is okay. I mean, honestly, irrespective of like whether I'm happy with these particular sketchbook spreads by the end of today or not, I'm committed to like using these, you know. So I often think as well, art supplies you don't gel with initially, you just have to keep persevering with them. And well, you don't have to do anything, honestly, but like if you want to, you need to keep persevering with them until you find a way of working with them that like resonates with you. Because, you know, most art supplies are far more versatile than we tend to give them credit for, and it just takes a little bit of trial and error. So maybe these won't be something I use on their own very often. Maybe they will be something that I tend to only break out in conjunction with something else, like paint maybe. It is still giving colouring book, I think. Yeah, it really doesn't like blend well, does it? Okay, so that's the the Sakura Coupy pencil. Verdict's out. I need to play around with them more, and I need to try them with other types of media, but they are very smooth. The shapings are very aesthetic, and I like don't want to throw them out. I don't know, there's something to it. Yeah, I'll put it to the side. Yeah, okay, verdict's out. Again, I have like a bias against pastels, so I have to bear that in mind. I probably should have tried this eraser. Maybe this is like formulated for the crayons. They don't blend the way pencils do. Surprise, surprise, they're not pencils. Yeah, we'll see. I don't hate them. I think they could be fun. Like I said, it just kind of like the sketchbook page is just kind of giving coloring in book, which I don't hate. I almost went to drink the water and I can't do that. These pastels I'm really excited about. These are Soft Pastels. These are made in Japan. I got them at a tiny little like a news agency in Kyoto. They were 2,640 yen, so it's about $26 Australian. Don't know what that converts to any other currency, I am sorry. They were just the absolute cutest. And I couldn't help myself, despite the fact that Soft Pastels give me like a visceral, physical cringe reaction. Even just looking at them, my mouth is like gone dry. I hate it. I can't like write with chalk on a chalkboard. It makes me squirm. I hate it. A lot of it lifts off. Maybe I need more. Okay, well, we're gonna give this a go anyway. I like how these are blending now. I do like this. It's giving that like hazy, dreamy sort of thing. But I mean, I did want like a really, I think maybe there wasn't enough definition between the two shades of green that I chose for the grass, and so I'm curious if I should make this one higher contrast. Let's try. I don't know if it's just like so far away from my usual style that I am not looking at it objectively. I think I probably need to like come back to this in like a month and then evaluate my thoughts on it, because right now my like default thought is nah, I hate it, don't like it, not a fan. I do think though, if I've learned anything from looking at my old work, it's that opinions change. So I just think it's very, very different to what I'm used to doing. I think the pastels would be cool for making like textured backgrounds that I could then put into other artworks. That would be fun, like digitally superimpose the textures. I like that a lot. Maybe I should do that. Although this isn't really turning into scribble art, like I had no plan for this and it's immediately turning into a tree. I do like how quickly you can move with soft pastels, and that's probably because I'm not doing it right, honestly, but I probably should put down like washi tape or something so I'd get like straight, crisp edges. I think that would just generally make everything feel nicer and a bit more considered. Not like necessary, and almost like a little bit of a gimmick to feel fine with it, but sometimes you need gimmicks. Okay, I feel like this was the vibe I was going for with the landscapes, that it just didn't happen with the landscapes. Like this really like soft, dreamlike type thing. I actually really like this. I like it. I actually like them more than I like the crayon pencils. Next up, I want to try these Des Art Japan color pencils. Depending on how you hold them, it's like a crayon. It's another crayon, of course, it's a crayon. Depending on how you hold them, it creates like a different effect. It's got cool packaging as well. Again, I think these would be cool for making textures that I could then go and superimpose into digital artwork. I think that would be a really good use for these, and probably what I will do. I like the randomness of them. It really forces you to be like loose, which is nice. Again, like it's not bleeding through the paper, which is amazing. Cool, so that's those. I like them. I can see them being quite limited in their use, but I still think they're cool. And so these I bought because I love the packaging. No other reason. I just think it's amazing. The little cutouts, it's so clever. It's so cute. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful with coordinates on it. Earth tones, earth themed. Oh, tell me that's not beautiful. Like, so that's why I bought it, like purely because of that. Yeah. Let's draw some flowers. I wonder how these blend. I should have done swatches. I didn't even think to do swatches. I was just so excited to use them, honestly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they blend nicely. Maybe these will be the ones that make me love pastels. Pastels. Pastels? Like, look at the color overlay compared to the Coupy pencils. The color overlay in this, incredible. Love it. Big fan. You can layer this more like paint. They also feel really easy to use because they are still kind of shaped like a pencil, but they don't have that like lightness and the feeling of these are going to break that the Coupy pencils had. That's fun. That's very fun. I'm gonna use these a lot. Oh my goodness. I think just like the color that you can like layer the colors up is really great. Really great. Right now, I'm really enjoying this color palette. I like these a lot. These might be the thing that converts me. We are down to our final two products, which are also pastels. So we're gonna stay with this like pastel-y sketchbooking thing. We have two types. We have our Sakura Cray-Pas. These are not expensive crayons. And then we got some Sennelier. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. These are expensive pastels. These are the creme de la creme. Well, I don't know if there's better actually. These are excellent pastels. I've seen them all over the internet. They are very well documented. I've never tried them before, so we're going to give them a go. We're going to try the Cray-Pas first, just because I'm like working my way up. All right, for this one, I might swatch. Oh, these feel like very thick. And I really like the colors. Complete opposite of the satellite crayons, I think. They're nowhere near as muted, but they are also significantly, well, I think significantly more vibrant than the Sakura Coupy. I'm just like hating on the Sakura Coupy. I don't hate them. I just think like having tried so many different types of pastels in this one sitting, they're definitely my least favorite. I like the range in this, and it also makes me think I have another set of pastels the ones that I use to do the landscapes of Mount Rocco. Absolute rubbish. I feel like if I had have done them with a nicer quality set of pastels, I actually would have come back with something that I was like happy with. Which leads me to make an argument that I don't necessarily think that beginners should always buy the cheapest supplies, because that's something I hear a lot is like, oh, you don't know how to use it, so just get the cheap ones, it doesn't really matter. But if the cheap ones produce like terrible results and it discourages you from even trying ever again, then honestly you're better off getting the more expensive ones and actually enjoying yourself as you learn, and then wanting to continue learning as opposed to giving up. You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? And I wonder what happens if I layer in with some of this lighter yellow. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. These ones blend well. Damn, okay, you know what? Less the Sennelier, is that how you pronounce it? The Sennelier is like astounding. Then like, you know what? These are pretty good. One of my favorite combos, color combos in the whole entire world is blue and orange. Like a really rich, deep blue. and this like super vibrant orange, the way that they just like contrast each other, they're directly opposite each other on the color wheel, which is how you can tell if colors are going to work well together or not. So if you don't have a color wheel, definitely, I mean, you can look them up online, you don't have to get one, but I like having a physical color wheel. It's just like a piece of cardboard that you spin around to whatever colors you're thinking of using, and then it will show you the different like combinations you can use with it. I feel like this is gonna need a sheet of paper over it, because I think despite the fixative, you can see how much product is like coming off and like building up on the page. And so I don't know that fixative will solve that. I think I'm gonna have to tape a piece of tracing paper over the top to stop it from smudging onto the next page. Cool. Okay, great. See, like it blends so well. I actually think this would be fun to do landscapes with. Not that I'm like great at landscapes, but oh, and then imagine if it was like autumn, so like some leaves were just like starting to turn orange. Yeah, big fan. Massive fan. I like both of those a lot. I can see myself playing around with both of those. The creme de la creme, our final pastel. This is it. This box, seen them everywhere. It's already swatched on the side. Love it, respect it. Oh, this is like thick foam. Look at that. They look so beautiful. I actually don't want to use them. Oh, they're like butter. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It comes off on your fingers really easily. See, I just wiped on my jacket. Of course I did. Of course I did. Oh, these are stunning. I'm not even doing big swatches because I want to save them. That's problematic. I don't want to save them. I can easily slip into like hoarding tendencies and convince myself stuff is way too special to use, and I've done a lot of work over the last few years to undo that mentality and to use the good perfumes and to use the good sketchbooks and to use, you know, the fancy candles instead of just hoarding them. And I can already feel my brain slipping back into those thought patterns of like, these are too good. These are way too good to use. Oh, look at those colors. I don't know if it's focusing, I hope it is. They're nice. They're like very tactile. Oops. I love that they come in like a case with their own individual little pockets. They do, yeah, come off onto your hands quite easily. But despite that, oh, they're so nice. They are really nice. So if you want to buy expensive pastels, you have my full support. If you don't, the Cray-Pas, very good also. See, I feel like where other pastels wouldn't work, like I don't know that I could have done the rabbit in the Cray-Pas, maybe just because of the way it's shaped. Perhaps if I like melded, I don't know, like adjusted the top of it to be more of a similar shape to this, then it would be possible. If anybody has any pastel advice, I am like super open to it. But I don't know if like I'm actively like doing something quite wrong. as I could be. I'm gonna have to look up some tutorials on how to work with pastels, because I can see like so much potential. I just need to like lock in and learn, I think. To be honest, like the art supplies I've got definitely have inspired me to learn more. That's absolutely certain. And I think that is probably the metric with which I judge a successful purchase or not. It almost, like the way the red goes down on the page, it kind of, like, the first thing came to my mind was like lipstick. Like, that's the texture. That's what it feels like. Blending the colors together is definitely like a very rewarding feeling with these ones. I'm also conscious of the paper that I'm doing this on. And I don't know if this would be the best paper for this, probably not. I'm curious how it would look on a more grippy type of paper, but I feel like we've tested a lot. We went through the Caran Dash, that's definitely not how you pronounce it, the Sakura Coupy, which was definitely my least favorite, the artist Soft Pastels, which I am very, very unsure of how to use, but I ended up being really happy with it in the end. I'm glad I did 2 pages. The Japan Color by Desart, seems kind of gimmicky, but also that can be fun. I don't dislike a gimmick. So that's great. The Satellite crayons, mwah, beautiful, love, 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 love. The Sakura Cray-Pas, also love, big fan. And the Sennelier, which I think I was right to save that till last, and they were undoubtedly the best, the most enjoyable art supply to use. So I'm really excited to use these in a more formal capacity and to actually try more ambitious subject matter and to try creating fuller pieces with them. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. That was so much fun, and I am honestly so keen to use these art supplies more in my work. I'm currently thinking about how I can integrate it in a way that feels like authentic to the work I already produce, but still allows me to like push myself out of that box. So yeah, I had a lot of fun testing these out, and I hope that it was entertaining or insightful or useful for you in some way. So yeah, hope so. Anyway, that's it for me for another week. I will see you in the next video. Bye.